I used to think that being a grown-up meant having it all figured out. A house, a steady job, a full calendar, a family. By the time I hit 45, I had everything I thought a man should want: a paid-off house in the suburbs, a respectable job I'd stuck with for over 20 years, a reliable truck, and a calendar full of obligations. I was also exhausted. The kind of tired that seeps into your bones. Not just physically, that I could handle, but mentally and spiritually. I was waking up with a sigh every morning, dragging myself through tasks that used to feel meaningful. Friends drifted away into their own family circles. Conversations turned into small talk. Even hobbies I used to love, fishing, working in the garage, began to feel like chores. No midlife crisis. No flashy sports car or sudden spiritual pilgrimage. Just an overwhelming sense that I was done. Not in a dramatic way, just done with chasing things that didn't matter anymore. One Friday night, I was scrolling through my phone after a particularly long day. Algorithms knew me too well, feeding me war stories, tool ads, and fishing memes, the usual stuff. But then there was a photo of a kitten. Just sitting in someone's hand, eyes wide open, as if it had never seen anything bad in the world. And for some reason, I stared at it for a long time. It wasn't cute in a cutesy way. It looked honest. Like it hadn't been told to man up, or toughen up, or try harder. I put the phone down. But I kept thinking about that look. That damn cat. I drove to the local animal shelter. I wasn't planning anything. I just went. It smelled like disinfectant and hope. I told the lady at the front I didn't know what I was looking for. She brought me to a room with crates, and in the corner was this scruffy orange cat with one ear slightly bent, like it had gotten into a bar fight and walked away proud. And there he was again, in real life this time, ginger fur, big eyes, warm purr. He climbed into my lap like he already knew I needed him. He looked at me like he didn't care what kind of man I was, just whether I had a warm lap and didn't yell too much. I took him home. Named him Buck, after the kind of no-nonsense neighbor who borrows your mower and brings it back with the tank full. Every day, he reminded me that peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being still. From watching something small and letting it matter. Buck didn't talk. Didn't offer motivational quotes. Didn't care about job titles or my cholesterol or my 401k. He sat on the couch. He stared out the window. He curled up next to me and snored softly when I fell asleep during old westerns. Turns out, I needed that more than advice or achievement. Just quiet company. Some days I'd talk out loud, about old memories, about regrets. Buck didn't blink. Just flicked his tail, like, keep going, man. I'm listening. I began to notice the morning light again. Coffee started to taste better. I actually picked up a book that wasn't about finance or fixing things. Some friends asked why I bothered with a cat. Get a dog, they said. Get something loyal. I just smiled. Buck didn't bark. He didn't need walks. But every day, he reminded me what real loyalty looked like, being present without expectations. He made the house feel lived in again. He waited by the door when I came home, even if it was just from the mailbox. I stopped needing big answers. Started finding satisfaction in small rituals, feeding Buck, brushing his fur, watching him chase invisible enemies in the hallway. I'm not the man I thought I'd be at 30. I'm softer in some ways. Quieter. Slower to anger. More aware of time, and how little of it really matters if you're not paying attention. But for the first time in years, I feel like myself again. Not a husband, not a worker, not a provider or planner. Just a guy with a cat, a cup of coffee, and the sound of purring nearby. And that, strangely enough, feels like success.